It's me, Roger. You have clean hands. Let's not waste any more time. Hello, dear friends. Today I'm going to show you a multigrain bread. It's a delight and very good for the intestines and for the whole body, right? I'll show you that. To make this multigrain bread, I'll start by taking care of the grains, the mix that I make myself. I assure you, if you miss one, it's not important. If you want to add one as well, you can do that. It's according to your taste. But here, I have sesame seeds. I have pearl barley, I have seeds, sprouted wheat. Then I have flax, sunflower seeds, and finally oat flakes. That's what I use. But it's up to you to make your own mix. To start, I'm going to remove the oat flakes because I won't be using them. Right away, that will be later. But I will mix my seeds in a container. For all the seeds I have left, except the oat flakes, of course I put them in a container and I'm going to wet them. I add enough water. Then I mix a little and I'm going to let them soak like that. To soften them, I'm going to leave them for about, 2 good hours. But ideally, it would be best to prepare this in the evening for the morning. The cereals, 30 grain of oat flakes, 30 grain of flaxseed, 30 grain of sunflower seeds, 30 grams of sesame seeds, 30 grams of wheat germ, and 30 grams of pearl barley. Here we are in the early morning. I am now going to drain the water from my seeds that have soaked all night. I'm going to let this drain for a few moments. To make this bread, we have the seeds that I soaked overnight, like I also did before. So I removed the water. We need some water. Here, I have rice flour, spelled rye and white flour. Don't worry. If you are missing 1 or 2 of these flours, you can replace them with white flour. It won't be exactly the same, but it will work just fine. Additionally, I need yeast, baker's yeast. Here I have a packet which is enough for this recipe, milk powder, olive oil, and of course, fermented dough. To find out how I make it, follow the video along. To start, in my small mixer, I will add the water. Then I add my white flour, my rye flour, my spelt flour, and my rice flour. I will now attach my hook, let it run for a good minute, just at low speed, just to mix. Not knead, but mix my dough. It's now been about 1.5 minutes. It's just to hydrate my flour. So now I'm going to cover it and wait for an hour. See you in an hour. It's now been an hour that our dough has been resting. We stop. The flour is hydrated. In there I will just add the oil. And the milk powder. Let's not forget the salt. I will now let it run for about 10 minutes. 1 second speed, low speed, extend right. And there you go. We'll meet again in 10 minutes without passing. I am now going to put my dough that has fermented. I will add my yeast to it. And I will knead it for a minute at second speed. That is to say, a speed about twice as fast as earlier. We'll meet again in 4 minutes. Now my dough has stopped. Finally, my mixer has stopped. I will gather everything like this. I will now add my grains, which I remind you have soaked all night. And not forgetting my oats. These are dry. They haven't soaked all night. And I will mix this for about a minute at second speed. We'll meet again in a minute. Now my mixer has stopped. I will dust a little bit of flour. And I will let it rest about half an hour. Covered, of course. We'll meet again in half an hour. We are now doing half an hour. My dough has risen well. I will take it out of the mixer. Now, I will. A little sticky, huh? Well, that's normal. I will shape the dough. I don't do anything to shape it. Once I have finished shaping my bread, I will put it on a baking sheet with parchment paper. Now that I have placed it on a baking sheet with paper, I will dust it well. Well, that's personal. You can also leave it like that. But I like the slightly rustic look. And then I will cover it in the oven. And I will leave it for a good half hour. In the meantime, I will preheat my oven to 220 degrees. See you in a bit. A good half hour has passed. My bread has risen well. It looks great. I won't touch it. I will leave it as it is. I will put it in an oven at 220 degrees where I will add steam. And then I will lower it to 190 degrees. And for about 45 minutes, see you in 45 minutes. The recipe. You have water, 350 grams of white flour, 100 grams of rye flour, 100 grams of spelt flour, 50 grams of rice flour, 35 grams of milk powder, 30 grams of fresh yeast, 100 grams of fermented dough, 40 grams of olive oil, and 12 grams of salt. And there you have it, my magnificent bread. After 45 minutes in the oven now, I will put it on a rack and let it cool before slicing a piece. See you in a moment. And here is my bread now. I'm going to cut a slice. You look inside. And there you go. You don't see many of the small seeds or anything like that anymore. You can see a little bit, right? But rest assured that this bread is very good and keeps well. Make it. You won't be disappointed. I hope you enjoyed this video. Now you know how to do it. Go ahead, make it. It's not difficult. And I'll see you soon for another video. Goodbye. Don't forget to give a thumbs up. Subscribe. Please share my videos and kindly thank you for sincerely leaving a comment.